All right, awesome. So we are here with the exercise.com, how to grow your fitness business online. If you're wondering if this is for you, really any trainer in the industry, whether you're just starting out, somebody on Tony, Dean, Kelly's level, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about some awesome stuff here. We have some really good questions lined up. So excited for everybody just to collaborate and hear the answers that these experts are going to be sharing. So to talk about the guests that we have today, we have Tony Gentilcore. He's the founder of TonyGentilcore.com. He's a Boston-based strength and conditioning coach and writer. He's been featured on sites like T Nation, Muscle and Fitness, and Bodybuilding.com. We also have Dean Somerset. He's the founder of DeanSomerset.com. He's a certified exercise physiologist and strength and conditioning coach based out of Alberta, Canada. And he teaches fitness seminars all around the world. He's been featured on sites like Bodybuilding.com and Men's Health. And we also have Kelly Davis, who is the founder of FitThrive.com. As a fitness and nutrition coach, she teaches busy women how to step into their best body by getting strong inside and out. She's been featured on sites like bodybuilder.com and is a co-author of Strong Curves, a woman's guide to building a better butt and body. So guys, super excited to have you on. Thank you for joining us today. And we got some awesome questions lined up, excited to chat. So we're going to jump right into it. So first one, Dean, would love for you to start us off, but obviously want to hear from all you guys. So what would you say first motivated you to look online to grow your fitness business?
I'd love to say that I had some grand schemes of world domination or something along that line. But the way it actually first started off, I thought about getting into medical school. So I wrote the MCAT exam, did absolutely terribly. Apparently you need to know stuff about chemistry to get into medical school. But I scored in the top 5% on the writing sample. So I think that was the university's way of saying to me, maybe you should do some writing and not be a medical dude. So I started up my own website and just started writing for free just as a creative outlet. Eventually I got to a point where I was publishing in different places. And then I got to a point where people were emailing me and saying, hey, can I online train with you? And I had no idea how that worked. I had no idea what to do. So I was like, okay, sure, send me money and I'll figure this out as we go. So that started the process up, and eventually it evolved into having a system in place with exercise.com where I had an onboarding procedure, where I had payment organization, website hosting, workout hosting, all that kind of stuff in place. So it's gotten to a point where it's actually been more lucrative than my in-person training elements. So if I get to a point where I decide to say I want to walk away from in-person, the option's there. I don't, because I still actually like hanging out with people in real life. But it's been a really cool growth process. I mean, like I said, I'd love to say I had plans of world domination that had matched it, but I've essentially just been stumbling forward. Like if you ever watch high school kids run hurdles and they miss a hurdle and all of a sudden it looks like they're just falling as they go, that's essentially my career. I found a way to not face plant.
Yeah, well, hey, you're heading towards that world domination.
It's a constant little shuffle, nice little shuffle all the way.
It's more just like the arms are flailing, and I'm just trying not to have my face get ripped up on the track. That's about it.
Hey, well, you're doing great, man. You're killing it. So appreciate that. Kelly, Tony, what would you say motivated you?
Do you want to go ahead, Kelly?
I'll go first. Yeah, my career was just completely unplanned. I used to be a teacher, and then I turned into a copywriter, and I sort of fell into being a fitness coach because I used to do bodybuilding. And for me, coming online, it just helped me become more available for my family. And plus, at the time, I was moving quite often. It was really hard to constantly start my business over. So just having that presence online helped me facilitate everything I needed to do in life without feeling tied down to a gym or somebody else's hours. So that's been huge to me. Like right now I'm in the middle of a sale, and I woke up this morning and just had all these dollars in my bank account that happened while I was sleeping. It's a beautiful process.
Yeah.
And it's really been fantastic being part of exercise.com because I'm able to reach so many other people, and the programs that I design and implement and push out into the world through exercise.com reach every end of the globe, which is fantastic. You do not have that opportunity working in your local facility. So that's been huge.
Awesome. No, that makes complete sense. Really appreciate that. Tony, what would you say?
Well, I did have visions of world domination.
You still do, right?
Much like Dean, when my foray into online coaching was very much not planned. I'm originally from New York, and I was working in New York, and I moved to Connecticut, and I had a client in Syracuse, New York. When I moved to Connecticut, he was like, "Hey, would you still want to write my programs?" And I was like, "Sure." I have no idea how this is going to work. This is like before like digital cameras were a thing. And I was like, I guess I could just send you like a Word document or like an Excel spreadsheet, and then you could send me a check. And if the check doesn't show up, then I guess you get a free program. I don't know. And that coincided with me starting to get my name out there more via writing and my blog. And again, as Dean said, as I got my name out there more, I had more people contacting me interested in possibly training with me. And so I very much kind of did like a hodgepodge approach to figuring it out. And then, I don't know how many years ago it was when Jeff had originally emailed me.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah,
that was like 2013, I think, or 2012.
I think for me it was even before then, to be honest.
Oh, really? I think I met you in 2012. It was like
when my wife and I just first started dating, and I was like, "Hey, I got this email from this guy."
Yeah, like I was thinking about that literally going into this, like all you three, and I was like,
"Yeah,
Kelly, I remember the day that you called me. I was in Charleston at that time. My wife was finished up at Medical University of South Carolina, and I was like, I remember that call that day. I remember Tony and Dean. I think we were back with weighttrain.com way back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had like this general idea. And, oh man, that's awesome. It's kind of sweet to just look back and see what it all looks like.
Yeah. And, I wish this existed back in, I don't know, what was it, 2003, 2004, 2005? Because I look at what I did back then, and I mean, I made it work. You figure it out. It's like, we think about like, what did people do before the internet? Well, they actually did math, and they did long division, and they wrote stuff down, and they figured it out. But certainly weighttraining.com, which turned into exercise.com, has definitely made it infinitely more easier to do online training and to reach more people. So
awesome. No, yeah, that's great. Love hearing stories like that, of just how you got into the fitness industry, how you got into online training. It's just cool how it all comes together.
I'm still thinking about Dean doing this. Like, Dean, every time I email you now, it's going to be like this whole image in my mind.
That's probably going to have to become my new profile pic.
Yeah, I think so.
Just me falling down and flailing.
Yeah.
That'll
you
get
should
you more
actually
clients.
do hurdles, though. I want to see this.
Well, did you see Instagram yesterday? We actually have hurdles in the gym now. So
Nice.
I can do superhero landings.
Yes.
There we go. Perfect, man. We got a new workout plan on the way. Get ready, everybody. So next question, Kelly, would love for you to start this one. In a nutshell, what would you say are a few things that made your online business successful, and what would you say is also the most important out of those?
As far as tools that I use, or
I would even think just like your model, like of how you overall, like if you were saying like, hey, when I offer online training, these are like some things I really try to do. Like when I think about you, I think about your focused community, right? And like that's very important. Like I always have this community that I'm super intentional with in different ways, right? That might be through email marketing campaigns, whatever it might be. I think that's more than anything, just like your overall vision, a few things that like highlight that.
Yeah, well, number one is always find your niche, and don't be scared to niche down or niche. Sorry, Dean.
I prefer niche.
I prefer the proper pronunciation.
Don't be afraid to make it super, super small. You don't need a global audience. You just need a very small faction of raving fans who are your tribe. I think a lot of people, when they come online, they feel like they have to cater to everyone, and then nobody knows what they offer or who they are. So get very, very clear on your mission and your message. That is so, so important. I don't work with men. I certainly will if they come to me, but it's very obvious that my tribe is women of a certain age, of a certain income level, on a certain path in their life. I don't go out there and blurt this out, but through the messages that I send, the way I write my sales copy, I draw in a certain crowd. So that's really, really important to get clear with your message and your intents. Communication is huge. So don't somebody a program and fall off the face of the earth for 5 weeks, and then all of a sudden they're knocking on your door like, are you my coach or what? So make sure that you have clear guidelines of what your communication is going to be with your clientele throughout the process. and show up for them. That's another really, really important thing, is you want to create longevity. I know everyone on this call has clients that they've been working with for years, and you're like, why are you still paying? You're probably smarter than me now, but just having that communication and that assurance that you're going to show up for them is really, really important.
Yeah, no, that's huge. I think we could end the call right then and we're gonna get
You're welcome and good night.
Yeah, I mean that is awesome, and that translates across so many businesses, but especially in the personal training world. So that's really good. Tony, we'll go with you next, and then Dean, what would you say most important things that have made you successful online training would be?
I will say, I think this is kind of lost amongst a lot more so younger trainers and coaches, but I think what helps your online training is that you're actually good at training people in person. I think it's very important to develop those skills, and personal skills, interpersonal skills, and coaching skills with real people. Because I really don't think you have a prayer on being a good, or well, I'm sure it happens. Don't get me wrong, but I think it bodes in your favor that you're going to have a more successful online coaching business if you have the skill set that you developed training people in real life. Certainly, video is part of the process now, and when I need to, if someone sends me a video of their deadlift technique, I've done enough coaching in my 15 plus years of training people that I can look at someone's video and be like, yeah, do that, do this, and send me another video, let me know. So I do think it's very, very important to get good at coaching people in person, because there's so many nuances to coaching people that you don't really have a prayer of helping just tinker with people's technique and how certain things feel, and programming adjustments and stuff like that. That I think it just helps. It makes a lot of sense to be good at doing it in person first before you start diving into the online world.
Yeah, it makes sense. So if a brand new trainer came to you, just got certified, and he said, I just want to do online training, that's it, I just want to go right into it, you'd be like, man, get your hands dirty first.
I mean, you can do it, but I don't think you're going to be very successful.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people who are. I mean, I'm sure there's probably people who will be like, oh, I never did it. And that's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm just saying, like, long term, and I just maybe I'm old school, I don't know, but I do think it just helps a lot to have the soft skills of coaching that you only get by working with people in real life. That just helps.
No, I love it. Makes complete sense. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Dean, what would you say?
Well, I definitely piggyback on what both Kelly and Tony said. I mean, you have to understand who you want to work with. For me, a lot of the people coming into me might have some type of an injury, whether it's like knees, back, hips, whatever. But at a certain point of that injury, I can't benefit them online. They need somebody there in person. So understanding who I'm working with and where in that spectrum, that's going to be the best fit. Working with people in real time gives me an idea of what I should be working with those people online to the extent that I can. As Tony was saying, like being good at working with somebody who's a live human being instead of somebody that you're communicating with through email, you can't replicate that. If you're a young trainer coming into things, I wouldn't say, one or the other. I would say try to do both simultaneously, so that as you develop your in-person skills, you can also develop an online following. And even if it means that you're adding one new client every couple of months, you're still getting the benefit of learning how to communicate with somebody through email. But also just having a little bit of empathy for people as we're going through this. I mean, we're going to only communicate with them to a certain extent through email or video. We're not going to be able to see their body language. We're not going to be able to hear them speak to us as much as if we're in person. And people are going to get busy. They're going to drop off the face of the earth. So saying, oh, you missed your workouts, shame on you, that's probably not going to go over that well. So I've got a couple of clients where they might have a surgery coming up, or they're just at a busy point in time in their career. It's tax season right now, so everyone who's an accountant is scrambling like crazy. They may not be able to get 6 workouts a weekend. They might only get 2. Okay, cool. Well, let's see if we can find a way to make those workouts the best quality workouts possible, rather than trying to murder you. I mean, having that empathy and saying, let's flex your program a bit. This isn't working for you. Let's try something different. That can play a huge role in being able to form the relationship in a way that may not be possible in person, but just adds to that experience the individual has with online coaching.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think the common theme across the board is a lot of people, they get this false idea that they're going to get an online training. All of a sudden they're going to have $10,000 in sales or, first week or first month. And it started with hard work, working with people in person, developing those skills and growing as you went. So yeah, that's great advice.
Like our CEO always says, Cameron, you think big. If that's what your goal is, 10,000, but you always start small. And what is that start small step? And I think you guys got tons of great ones there. And ultimately,
it's because we're all kind of old in the fitness industry. We're not in our early 20s, so we all started in a time frame when you couldn't train online. So it's like, oh yeah, real people, we got to do that.
Yeah,